Hey everybody, and welcome to Stash Ranch. We had a question today from one of our students about transitions. And we're working specifically going from the really big trot to the small trot. It's, you know, under saddle, everything can get a little bit more difficult. You're kind of managing your entire body as well as the reins. So we talked a little bit about how can we manage this from the ground. And it kind of gave me an idea of let's talk about that for everybody so that you guys can start working on this in addition to your groundwork exercises. So the main thing is you're going to get the horse moving and you're looking at their legs. Okay, so when they're in an extended trot, you're looking for them to really stretch out with their legs. And then when you ask them to come back, that V in their legs is going to go from, well, this being their leg could be out here to then it being right here compared to their outside leg. So we're looking for the difference of a really big trot to a really teeny trot. The way that we're going to go about this is two things. You're going to close the front door by wiggling your lead rope, which is the wiggle wiggle that we keep on talking about. It keeps on creeping up. It's not just for backing. It's not just for stopping. It's for telling that horse on the ground, this door, the front door, is closed. But we have to keep on pushing around. So when I go about teaching this to a horse, it kind of becomes a yo-yo thing. You're going to ask them to stretch out, and then you're going to ask them to come back, and you're going to ask them to hold that. Now, if the horse goes from that trot to a walk, that's not bad. That you were asking for that. You just didn't add enough impulsion with your stick and string saying go forward. So it's something that you have to start playing with, and when they're correct, you'll leave them alone. Okay, that is the name of the game. That's their rest. So I'll kind of talk you through it with Cielo here. You'll also notice that when I do a downward transition, I will hum. And it's just a habit that I've picked up over the years from riding with enough reiners is instead of saying, because you can't go from the, I know a lot of people like to say trot. Well, we're going from the big trot to the small trot. So instead of saying big trot, small trot, think trot is your trot, and then is your next gear down. And we want to end up building in these horses at least 3 different trots. You want your really small trot, your medium trot, and your big trot. Each one of those has a purpose, and you want to be able to have as many tools in your toolbox as necessary. So we're going to eventually build all 3 of those in to your horses. So starting on the ground is just getting them the idea of, just because you're a big horse and you like to do the big trot doesn't mean that we want you to be at that big trot all the time. So this is what it kind of looks like, and I'll talk you guys through it as much as I can. So lead it, lift it, swing it, and she's now really going. I'm still adding my energy. And this is her big trot. This is her big ground moving. We're checking fence trot. And I'll let her find this trot and I'll let her keep it. Okay, this time coming around, I'm going to ask for her to slow down. So I'm going to wiggle my rope. So she kind of stops. So I'm just kind of, at that point in time, I'm wiggling my rope, but also I'm still using my stick and string to say, hey, there. That's a little bit nicer, and then I'm gonna let her just kind of go. And you want her just on the cusp. You want them just on the cusp of getting into that walk. So you want to think if you put any more pressure on their nose, they're going to break into that walk, right, like that. So that's where you kind of got to find that balance. So she's been at the really nice walk, or the nice trot for a little bit. So now I'm going to ask her to go up into that big trot. Well, and you can see the difference in my body posture and what I'm asking her to do. Look at her legs. You can see the big stride that she has. And if she pulls on my hand too much, I'm just milking the lead rope back to me. And this is a really nice little stretchy trot. I like this. This is fine. So that's how you start to get it built in. Like it may not look like a huge change, but it's a big change. Once you get in the saddle, this whole thing will start to kind of like, oh, okay, he wants me to go slower. But when we sit like in the saddle, your extended trot and your regular trot is going to go from a sitting, like you're going to sit in your regular trot, and you're going to have to post in your bigger trot and get off the horse's back and get out of their way. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to kick them more, or we're going to just throw the reins away, because even in those bigger trots, we still want connection with their face. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask away. Play with this with your horse. We're not looking for those, like, it's not a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference that you can see it in how the horse acts. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and just keep on working on your horses, and they will get better, and so will you. So we'll see you guys at the next lesson. Have a good one.